reason why young men, especially, are hesitant to get married is because there's for a lot of men, they don't see any benefit from it. You're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. If someday she could say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this anymore. I'm going to divorce you, but you're still going to be responsible for paying for me for the rest of your
Like
life.
I said, and I'm pro prenup, and alimony is not gendered. It's literally a formula in most states. And so in a situation, I do think like, yeah, if a man wants to get married, you should think about this. You should think about this possibility. But I don't think that it's fair that a woman who has given up so much in order to be a homemaker shouldn't have any shouldn't have anything. She should just be left on the street. Like
She initiates divorce based on feelings. He loses half his net worth. That's the entire story. One loses, one wins.
Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially, he protects, taking care of kids, doing the things that he can do. What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, sex. If you get divorced, every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state. And if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law.
Being forced to provide for a woman after a marriage is the equivalent of a woman being forced to sleep with the ex after a marriage. Whatever happened to consent?
Does that make sense for you as far as like why divorce is inherently more risky for men?
I just feel like you're saying because women tend to be the person who initiates a divorce, correct?
Yes.
That's why it's riskier for men. But why do women tend to end divorces? With successful men that have money, they cheat.
She said it earlier.
They do all these things that women don't want to
She
put
said
up
it earlier.
with.
It's
So
a feeling.
why?
Feelings change from day to day.
Yeah,
time
so
to
I
time.
could have been in love with the person at the moment, but if that person is no longer treating me well just because we're married, I have to say no.
That's the
Because
point.
he can't be a good husband.
So as a man,
That's all I'm asking.
if I marry you and
Yeah.
you decide, you know what, he's not the guy I thought he was anymore, I'm leaving. You take half my stuff and maybe.
So is there no risk
So?
without reward?
Oh, so what?
You married me, right?
No. So once again, this is why
You
men
wanted to marry me.
don't want to
You
get married.
thought you loved me enough that it would be worth it to you to marry me and
so
take
real
the
quick,
risk.
hold on, stop the show. You just basically admitted it with your own words why guys don't get married.
Why would I get married? Why? There's no actual reason to get married. It can complicate things. I have some friends that just have a woman they love and they had kids and they just didn't get married. I find them happier than those that get married.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like once you put the marriage title on it, there's just this
like a
added
pressure
pressure,
too, right? Yeah.
that like the relationship doesn't need.
Did you hear about this new food that like completely destroys sex drive in women?
No.
Wedding cake.
A lot of women confuse peace and stability with boredom. And that's a major reason why marriages fail these days. I hate how marriage has turned into an industry. We have people agreeing to vows they will never keep. It's just a complete debauchery of matrimony.
And we live in what I call can't victim, blaming them for the problem or the problems in the marriage and wanting them to change. One of two things happen. That because of the negative picture we paint of our husbands, we render ourselves incapable of seeing the wonderful qualities that they bring into the relationship and the good men that they are. And we see through a totally false reality, which is really kind of scary. And a good man is trying and doing the things and doing what his wife asks of him to try to make her happy. And it completely goes over our heads. So that's one scenario, that this is the man you're married to, but you've disillusioned yourself and can't see it. Or the second, and potentially why you can't see these values in your husband anymore and characteristics of him as a good man, is because you have beaten it out of him and he has given up. There comes a point where he can only be told he is wrong so many times, only to be withheld sex, affection, appreciation, respect for so long before he will throw his hands up and give up.
Modern marriage for men is akin to buying a car from a dealer and agreeing that the dealer can take the car back anytime he wants for whatever reason he wants with no refund. Not only that, but you must pay him additional money for taking it back. And she really needs to ask if men still want to get married.
Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
I
Depends.
think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
No,
they
but
don't-
name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that that woman is not
The
going to
answer
be
is
loyal
there's
to
none.
you.
The answer is there's none. You're
Well-
dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women can take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got inflation?
I think it's also setting a good example to children that you have a family nucleus. And I think there's something to be said about that.
Well, you can do that without the state getting involved in
You
getting
know
married.
what?
Marriage doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore. Western society has taken the religious context from marriage, and it has left it as just the shell of legal paperwork. Marriage is now a contract that can be easily taken advantage of.
Men don't really see the worth in going out to find a potential mate.
When you tell a man he's evil, when you demonize masculinity and manhood and men ain't shit and they're not needed, of course, dude, they're going to just say, I'm good then. I'm going to just focus on work. I'm going to focus on my career, my hobbies, my own ambitions, and I'm not settling. Why would I? You don't even want a family.
If you want a woman to treat you well, don't give her a commitment. Women chase the commitment and put in the effort for it more than a relationship. She will either continue indefinitely, or she will decide to move on when she realizes she will never get the commitment from you. At which point, she is no longer going to treat you as well, just like she would have once she got the commitment. At least this way, it is easier to move on and replace her or enjoy being single. Women like to believe that they are all different, but they aren't. Just the same shit wrapped in a different package. The reality is that women love the idea of getting married because of social pressure, but have no idea how to stay married.
Why men are checking out of society and relationships. People don't go where they're unwanted, and everybody always puts the blame and shame on men for everything that has gone wrong in society. A woman wants a man who is emotionally available and sensitive, but if a man expresses his sensitivity, he is told that he has a fragile ego. If a man wants to defend himself against a woman, she will shame him into being quiet by saying he's either too aggressive or he has toxic masculinity or he has, again, a fragile ego. If a woman says something offensive, she is protected. If a man says something offensive, he is canceled. It's considered sexist or misogynist to point out a woman's shortcomings, and you have to walk around eggshells with them because of their sensitivity. But men get mocked, ridiculed, and disrespected in society, and they're just supposed to sit back and take it. You can make fun of men all you want online, mock them, criticize them. If you do that to a woman, you'll...
Here are the 3 reasons I divorced my wife. Number 1, when I informed her that our neighbor died, she said, "Who, Ray?" Not appropriate to cheer at that moment. Number 2, when I told her my favorite month was coming up, she said, "Why'd you lie?" I didn't. Number 3 is when my dad passed away. He was at the hospital. I couldn't make it before his death. And when I got there, she told me that the doctor said that my dad was pronounced dead. There's no way I've been mispronouncing it my entire life. But she kept defending the doctor. And you know what, to be fair, I should have known. The first time I asked her out, I was like, "You want to grab some drinks?" And she said, "How about 10 tomorrow?" That's way too many.
Lots of young girls mistake passion for love in our dopamine-driven society. Love is about putting someone's needs above your own, while passion is about getting lost in the moment. Love is intellectual, while passion is reactionary. If you don't want to think, but just react, a stable long-term relationship is something you won't be able to experience.
Why is a sexless marriage so damaging? In a healthy marriage, you have sex. And unless there are extenuating circumstances, a reason why that can't be, if both people are physically able to have sex, they should be. That is the mode of a healthy relationship. However, many of us get into what we call an intimacy withdrawal. It's like our bank accounts, our emotional accounts, our physical accounts, our relational accounts have become over withdrawn. We are in a negative balance. Leave a comment if this sounds familiar to you. Like, here's an example of what we often see. Sometimes maybe a wife and a husband will be home at the end of the day, and the wife wants to share something with her husband, and the husband's on his phone and he's checked out. And the wife does not feel heard and does not feel like her husband is emotionally supportive of her.
How are only men taking a risk?
Because 80% of divorces are initiated by women and 90% of alimony is paid from men to women, and child custody always goes to women 90% plus of the time. So men typically a lot of times end up getting destroyed by a divorce. Very rarely do women feel the wrath of divorce.
I mean, I feel like we still
It's
have a
men.
lot to lose.
Like what? Men lose way more. That's not even argument. Like divorce destroys men far more than it destroys women, because most of the time women don't marry guys that make less money than them. So since men are in the breadwinner position most of the time, the women get all the benefits from the divorce.
I believe most women like the idea of getting married, as far as getting a ring and dolled up for the ceremony is concerned, more than the long-term commitment. Also, they would rather wait for a man at the finish line than build and grow with him, while expecting others to accept them wherever they are in life. Plus baggage trauma these days, too.
Why men are checking out of society and relationships. People don't go where they're unwanted, and everybody always puts the blame and shame on men for everything that has gone wrong in society. A woman wants a man who is emotionally available and sensitive, but if a man expresses his sensitivity, he is told that he has a fragile ego. If a man wants to defend himself against a woman, she will shame him into being quiet by saying he's either too aggressive or he has toxic masculinity or he has, again, a fragile ego. If a woman says something offensive, she is protected. If a man says something offensive, he is canceled. It's considered sexist or misogynist to point out a woman's shortcomings, and you have to walk around eggshells with them because of their sensitivity. But men get mocked, ridiculed, and disrespected in society, and they're just supposed to sit back and take it. You can make fun of men all you want online, mock them, criticize them. If you do that to a woman, you'll
men remain unsatisfied in their marital relationships is because virgin mother is for their wife and whore is for their girlfriend. Well, that's not very good for the girlfriend because she ends up like in back alleys. That's fun for her. It's not so good for the wife because her idiot husband is floundering around with. Plus, she's like boxed into her little icebox refrigerator life, having to be picture perfect like a Stepford wife all the time.
Yeah.
It's very unsatisfying for everyone involved. So one of the things you have to do to have a marriage that's successful is admit what you want. What was the Freudian stance? The most difficult motivational drives to integrate into a socialized personality is and aggression. And that produces a real challenge. But if you can get it right, it's a huge benefit, but it's very difficult to get right.
This is so painfully true. No matter how hard you work and try, most of us just are not on the top 5%. Women will not settle for a 6 and 7 in their eyes, but men will, if they feel comfortable building a long-term life. But men need to make massive amounts of money, be buff, always be masculine but sensitive at the same time. The list of expectations from men is endless. And God forbid if you want your wife to sign a prenup. This is just a painfully impossible era for men.
To all the ladies wondering, where are the men at? Why aren't you asking us out? Why are you walking away? Well, ladies, here's your answer.
Simple. Don't play a game where the deck is stacked against you. Go after your dreams. Stay away from the dream killers. Freedom and peace above all.
But I just have a quick question. My husband won't see all of my accounts, right? I have like 8 different bank accounts, but my husband only knows about 2 of them. I've just been secretly saving for years in case I ever need to. Oh, no, say no more. I don't need to see those statements. So as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist.
My money is my money, and his money is also my money. That's the reality of marriage. But the problem is, women take it to the next level.
A man who sleeps with 200 women is the man, but a woman who sleeps with 200 men is worthless.
It's called a misogynist.
Men sleep with who they can for the most part, and women sleep with who they want to. That is the truth. So if a woman goes and sleeps with 200 men, that means that she wanted to, and that she just opened her legs and let it happen. I know this is where we kind of disagree, but that is the truth. If a man sleeps with 200 people, he has to earn it to sleep with 200 people.
We didn't disagree on that. I
And that's-
just don't
I'm not
like
even-
hear you saying things so crass.
I think we all feel how badly relationships have degraded, but no one really understands why. The answers are in the changes we made to what used to work. That's called hubris. When you believe that you know better than thousands of years of tradition, and that your best guess is going to yield better results.
What is your body count so far this year?
So it's July 6th. So I've been with about a person each day for the last 6-7 months.
Each day?
Each day.
You're kidding, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
So, I mean, if there's been 6 months, 30-ish days, then that's a lot of people. We're already in triple digits.
Propaganda tool.
You know the thing about women with high body counts? It doesn't matter if it's 80, 180, or 800 bodies. The real question is, do you really want to be the next one?
We now live in a state of decay, declining quality of life, and cultural and social collapse. And it's because we were fooled, once again, into thinking that we could change all the rules to be more convenient and empowering, and we wouldn't lose anything. In reality, laws, culture, technology, and all forms of change to our systems are like a wish made on a monkey's paw. You might get what you want, but you might not like what it costs. Thanks for watching the Voices of Man channel. This is your space. Share your voice and be part of a global community.